Alright, and welcome back. It's been quite some time since the last time I put one of these videos together, so you'll have to forgive me in that I'm trying to relearn how to make these. So, this is going to be a quick video, a little bit of compilation of what I've done, where I'm at, and where I've been, I guess. So, right here, I'm working on putting the elevator together. I had put on the tail feathers and forgot to attach the two elevators together essentially, and so that's what I'm doing here. I took the rudder and the vertical stabilizer back off, and now I'm doing everything to align the elevators and to make sure that they're within these specs for deflection up and down, and so that's what you'll see me working on. To get this, I've got a digital leveler. It's a pretty neat tool. I think I picked it up from Home Depot. Relatively inexpensive, but it's fantastic because you can zero it out and it gets down to pretty accurate decimal point degrees. And so utilize that, and basically I just picked a reference point, and there's the leveler there. I picked a reference point that along the ribs for both the elevators, so I have a common deflection point, and just try to get them as close to within specs. I believe the range is supposed to be plus 30 or plus 25, or 30 on the high end and 25 on the low end, and the error is a 0.5 degrees within that band and a 0 degree outside of that band. So that's what I'm using my leveler here for, is to verify that the elevators are deflecting correctly in a full throw, both up and down. Now I've put it all together, matched it out. I've got the deflections are all within specification, and the difference between the two elevators was less than a degree difference. So it actually turned out pretty well from what I can tell. Now the horn that you see there, where it's attached, the frame is actually in the way. When you do a full deflection up, that horn actually hits the metal frame on the aft end there. So I had to file that down quite a bit just to get it so it gets the proper throw when going in the up direction. So now this is a few months later. This is now November of 24, and I'm really starting to get back into this build now. I've just recently received my engine, and so that's nice. And with everything that was going on with vans, I actually was contemplating selling this project. Now that I've got the engine and I've started working on it more, I'm getting that bug again. So I don't know that I will sell it. I think I'll keep going and try to get this, see this thing through. So what you're seeing me working on now is the Canopy frame. What I have in my hand there is actually one of the rails, the side rail of the frame, and just assembling everything together. There's a outer skin that you end up getting, riveting everything. So I'm just getting everything prepped for putting that outer skin and all that. One of the things that I tried to do with this is, obviously you want to make sure that there's no twist, or at least a very minimal twist. So you'll see here in a minute where I put the two rails, these side rails, onto the forward end of the canopy there. And that's what was upside down on the table. And then I kind of tweak it, and I use that same digital leveler on both the same point on the frame to make sure that there's no twist. And so I've been able to, as I'm working with it, ensure that it's within a 0.1 degree difference. And then as I'm drilling to match drill, I'm constantly going back and verifying just to try to make sure that there's no twist in that canopy. So here I'm working on the handle that goes onto the side rail so you can lift and open up the canopy. It's just an angle piece of aluminum that you cut out and smooth around and round off the edges. And then here you see where you just clamp it onto the side rail and then use the guide holes to do the finish hole to rivet everything together. Overall, the canopy portion is going by pretty quickly, pretty easily. I would say it's a lot of monotony, a lot of doing small things, and it seems like I'm working hours and hours at the hangar, but I didn't really get a lot done. And so that's kind of just the process of this whole thing. And again, just going back and forth and verifying that I'm trying to, that I'm keeping everything without a twist. So here you see the frame, the portion closest to you on the video here. That's the forward end of the frame of the canopy. It's obviously upside down so I can get everything working. And so these braces here help to try to keep everything lined up, and then you see me using a leveler on the same point, and then kind of go through and just twist and make sure that everything is within a 0.1 degree difference. And as you see, just twist a little here, twist a little there until I'm satisfied with it. And then again, as I said, as I'm going through and as I'm drilling holes and whatnot, I go back and verify and constantly check to help make sure that it's keeping within that spec. Now, eventually, I'm going to be working on the Lexicon or plexiglass, whatever the canopy is made out of, and I'm debating right now on whether or not I want to drill it as the plans call out, or if I want to use Sikaflex. Now, I've kind of purposefully been staying away from Sikaflex because I'm not a big fan of the idea of the canopy being held on by glue, essentially. But it's a lot of people talk about it and swear by it, and so I've started looking into it, and I think that will be the way that I go. It's just it's a solid process so long as you do it correctly, and it's messy from what I hear, but it's you don't run the risk of cracking your canopy, which is the big scare. So that's something I'm going to be looking into and looking into the process about how to do it and what all is involved. But it seems pretty straightforward. So now I'm just working on the back portion of the frame. That's the handle where you pull the canopy down and clamping everything, the base of this down, and then you'll see me measuring and trying to get everything in place so that I can line it up correctly. But that's kind of the whole process of this canopy frame, is just doing a lot of measurements, double checking, and then constantly verifying there's no twist as you're putting everything together. There's a lot of match drilling, there's a lot of final drilling in this portion of it. The instructions are very explicit in making sure that you cleco every single hole when you're putting everything together to fit everything. And so there's a lot of design and concern in trying to maximize or minimize, I should say, your chance of inducing some kind of twist. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm plugging along and hoping that as the weather gets worse, it doesn't get too cold here. It's down here in Sacramento, and it's already starting to get cold in the hangars. So we'll keep plugging away at this and going forward. Like I said, it's one of those things where I'm getting back into this. I'm starting to enjoy this. I apologize about the videos, but it's kind of got to the point where I was focusing too much on how to do the video and wasn't getting actual work done. So that's why there's a difference in where I'm at versus where my last videos had me. So with that, I think going forward, I'm going to put a little more effort in trying to get these videos out. As I've said before, I really do enjoy the feedback in the community of folks who watch these videos and have questions and and or point something out that I may have missed. And it's been a great back and forth. So that part is fantastic, and I appreciate everybody that watches these. So with that, I think I'm going to let this video close out, and we'll start putting more of these together as I start getting more progression. So again, I appreciate you all for watching. If you have any questions, leave it down below, and I'll get back to you. Thanks.